Hi, so when you're working on a mix, whether it's for a client or in my case for my band, it's sometimes very useful to let somebody sit in, listen to the mix, provide immediate feedback so that you can adapt and get their comments on what you did. But then you need to have those people right there in your studio. And with all the remote mixing that's going on nowadays, that's hardly ever the case. Now I know with the internet it's of course pretty easy as well to just make a quick export of your mix, send it to them via a file sharing service or maybe email, get their feedback and then move on with mixing. However, that does still take quite a bit of work, right? You need to make an export, send it to them via email, a sharing service, wait for their feedback, and then you can continue your mix incorporating their feedback, and all of that does take some time. Because what you really want, of course, is the same experience as if they were right here in your studio. Listen to your mix, provide immediate feedback, make a few mix adjustments, get more feedback, etc. Well, Waves have just released their Stream plugin, which allows you to do just that. Stream audio from your DAW to another DAW, or from your DAW to a browser, where somebody can immediately listen to your mix and provide feedback. So, let's go! Now I know there are already a couple of existing solutions which can do exactly what I just said in the intro. For example, Audio Movers has the Listen To plugin and Steinberg has its own VST Connect. And those are probably offering more extended features at this moment. But the nice thing about the Waves plugins is that they've done what they've also done with, for example, the Renaissance series, is that they've made it really easy to use. Now, full disclosure, Waves did provide me with a Waves Creative Access subscription, under which this plugin is currently running in beta, so that I could try it for you before the official release date. But I'm just going to show you how this plugin works from my perspective, the way I've experienced it in this beta test period. So let's have a look. Now, this is a really simple Cubase project with just one track in here.
In the shadows of the night.
And I've opened my control room because I've inserted the Waves Stream Send plugin in the control room, because I basically want to send anything that I'm hearing to a remote client. Even when I'm switching, for example, to a reference track from my Adapter Metric AB plugin, or when I, for example, want to listen to just the low end on the track, since the Waves Stream Send plugin is at the end of this list, anything I do before the Waves Stream Send plugin will get sent to the remote client. So if we open the Waves Stream Send plugin, you can see that this is the stereo version. There's also a mono version if you just want to send a mono track, because even though I now put it in my Cubase control room, you can also put this on a single track if you want to, for example, stream a single track to a remote client. Now, the only thing that you need to do over here to get a stream is to name it. It's called My Stream by default. So let's say that I want to call this Lanewood Studios 1, and then I push the big power button over here. And if you then wait a few moments, you can see that a QR code appears here and it just said URL copy to clipboard. So if I open a little notepad over here and I put in notepad what was copied to clipboard, you can see that it's a URL to appswaves.com with a session ID for my stream. So the idea is that you can now send this URL to a remote client via email, WhatsApp, or whatever chat client you're using. And then there are two ways that they can use this URL. One is that they can paste it into a Waves Receive plugin, which they put on a track in their DAW, and then your stream will appear in their DAW in that track. Now, another option for a client who doesn't have a DAW is that they can directly click on the URL, which will open a web browser, and they can listen to whatever you're streaming via your DAW directly in a web browser. So let's, for example, do that on my own iPhone, because you're seeing this QR code over here, which is actually another representation of that URL that I just copied to my clipboard. So what I can do, I can just scan that QR code with my iPhone, and then it will open that web page in which I can listen to the stream. Let me show you. So on the left side, you can see what's on my iPhone screen. I'll show you that it's live. Right there's my camera. And if I now start the stream again, there's the QR code. Let's scan the QR code. And you can see that it now opens the Waves Stream application in a web browser. I can push click to connect over here. You can see over here that the button now reads live, meaning that the client is connected. You can also see that from this little blue headphone icon, which is now lit up. And on the receiving side, you can also see the sample rate here of the stream that's being sent. That is a stereo signal, and you can even see the location of the playhead. If I, for example, go to another location here in my session, you can see that the playhead follows accordingly. Which is of course very nice, because then somebody who's listening can say, oh, I heard somebody at 1 minute and 10 seconds, for example, and you have the same reference. And as you can see here, the receiving end starts in muted mode. So if I click this on my iPhone, the stream is now live. And if I start playing anything in my DAW, you can hear it on my iPhone.
Linger in the silence, lost in thoughts of you, longing to be near, but I'm just, you'll never feel my heat and devotion, ocean.
And what you're listening to now is actually the audio stream, which is going from my iPhone to the desktop app, which is showing the screen of my iPhone, and that's being recorded. So it's going through an extra level of conversion, which you normally don't have if you're listening directly on your iPhone. But I thought this was a nice way to show the basic process. Now the nice thing about this method is that you don't need any plugins on the receiving end. It just displays and lets you listen to your stream anywhere in the world where there's an internet connection, and somebody can open a browser to this link. Now, apart from letting somebody else listen on his iPhone or his laptop or whatever system his browser is running on, this is of course also a great way for you as a mix engineer to quickly listen to your mix on your iPhone. For example, scan that QR code on your screen, put your DAW in loop so that it continuously plays your mix, and then walk away with your iPhone, maybe sit in your car, connect it to your Bluetooth in your car, whatever you want to do to reference your track somewhere else, without the need to make a separate export of your mix, put it on your device, etc. Now there are some other options on the send side. For example, if I now quit my stream, I can click leave here, and the Wavestream asks me whether I want to terminate the current stream. So if I now terminate it, you can also see that on the receiving end the connection has been terminated. And I cannot reuse the same stream now. I would need to start a new stream from the send plugin, and this would create another link which my remote client would need to open in their browser. Now as for the options on the Wave Send plugin, you see that I can also go to dark mode. I can scale the GUI. I can open manuals and show some more info on their website. Over here you can see that there's also an option to start a stream with a certain passcode. So in this case you can type in 1 to 6 digits, and then the client will need the passcode as well as the URL to activate the stream. Now you may also see this mic section over here, but more about that later. Now the second way to receive this audio stream is by using the receive plugin in a DAW. But before we go into that, if you like this video or find it useful, please give it a big thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm so that it gets shown to more people. Subscribe to the channel and ring the little bell icon if you want to get notified when I publish another video. For more support, you can also use the super thanks button below the video, or when you intend to buy anything at these stores. If you do so after clicking one of the affiliate links in the description, I will get a small commission without any additional cost to you. Highly appreciated. But let's check out the Wave Receive plugin. Now, in order for this demonstration, I'm going to insert the Wavestream plugin on a different track. So let's remove it from my control room, and I'm just going to insert it over here. Wavestream send stereo. And I'm not going to send this track to an output because I want to receive it on a separate track. So let's create a separate track. Let's call it remote stream, make it a stereo track. And let's put the Waves Receive plugin on there. So if I now play my track, you're not going to hear anything because the track is not routed anywhere, right? Now this is of course a bit of a demo on the same system, which typically doesn't happen. Normally the send and receive plugin would be on separate systems, but I don't have the ability to run both on two different systems at the moment. So let's try it on the same one. So I'm again going to start my stream here in the Wavestream plugin by pushing this big button. It will take a few seconds. And then it will show the QR code, and it says URL is copied to clipboard. Now in my Waves Receive plugin, I can say paste from clipboard. And you can immediately see that they are now connected. Again, the receiver can check that his project is in the correct sample rate for the stream. By the way, the Waves codec will adjust to 44 or 48, but it's always best to use the native sample rate anyway. You can again see the location of the playhead of the person that is sending the stream. So let's unmute the Receive plugin.
In the shadows of the night, I'm on my own, seeking love that I'll never own. Your eyes like dreams yet to unfold.
and the audio that you're now hearing is coming in through the Wave Stream Receive plugin. Now you can set the Receive plugin to 2 modes. If you set it to stream, the stream is a very high quality stream with no dropouts but higher latency. And the Waves codec automatically adjusts the stream based on the internet connection, making it ideal for critical listening. That's from the Waves manual. Now in collab mode, the latency is reduced, but there could be occasional dropouts. This is for example nice if somebody wants to record to the stream that you're sending or do a voiceover or something, so that the timing is as tight as possible, but there could be dropouts. I have to say that for what I tried, the stream mode has always worked just fine, and response to me starting or stopping playback has been really quick. Now you can also adjust the level of the plugin. Other options are you can copy the stream link again if you want to disconnect and later reconnect again. You can terminate the screen on the receiving end, switch to dark mode, and again the menu options in the Receive plugin are pretty similar to the Send plugin. Now apart from streaming your main audio from the sender to the receiver, it's also possible to stream an additional audio track, for example a mic track if you want to comment on the mix that you're playing. Let's have a look. So this is basically the same setup that I showed you before. I have a Wave Stream sender on this track and I have a Wave Stream receiver on this track, and they're being shown over here. So if I play,
in the shadows,
the audio that you're hearing was coming in via the stream. But you can see that I've also set up a mic track over here, and you can see the activity from my voice at the moment. And I have enabled monitoring, so whatever I say on left stereo in is immediately sent to this track. On my Wave Stream Send plugin, I can now enable the sidechain and add as sidechain source my mic track. Again, you can see the activity when I'm speaking. And you can also see that these controls have been enabled now. And if I now push this button, you can see that I'm actually sending audio to the Receive plugin as well. And if I release this button, I'm not sending my mic to the Receive plugin. You can also trigger this mic button here by learning it via MIDI, or you can set it to latch mode so that if you push it, the mic is opened and you can talk freely, which is sent over the stream. And if you push it again, your mic is disabled again and it's not sent via the stream. On the sender side, you can adjust the gain of the mic if you want to. For example, I may want to increase the loudness a little bit because it seems to be pretty low. So let's increase it. And I can disable it again by pushing that button again. Now currently I'm sending my mic signal via this sidechain, but it can be any audio track of course. Now you may be wondering, so how do I set up a bi-directional audio connection so that the sender can talk and the receiver can talk as well? Well, currently that's not possible via the setup I'm showing you here. In that case, you also have to set up a send and receive set where your client has a send plugin and you have a receive plugin so that you can hear his voice. And in their manual, Waves also advises that in that case, it's best to put the receive plugins both in collab mode so that you have the lowest latency and delay on your connection. Now WaveStream will be part of the Waves Creative Access subscription as of the 25th of March 2024, which should be today if you're watching this video on the release day. And it's available in both the Essential and the Ultimate version of the subscription. If you don't want to get a full Waves Creative Access subscription, then it's also possible to buy a separate subscription just for these WaveStream plugins, which runs at $8.99 a month or $88.99 a year. So what do you think about these plugins? Have you maybe tried them already? Do you think they would be useful in your home studio or maybe even in your commercial studio? Let me know in the comments. And if you have nothing to say but you enjoyed the video, you can always put a little emoji in the comments for engagement. Helps again with the YouTube algorithm. Now I recently did another video on the Waves plugins that I really enjoy and have been using for a long time myself. If you haven't seen that yet, I'll provide a link over here. Check it out, enjoy, and see you soon.